In Venezuela, President Nicolás Maduro meets with independent opposition leaders at Miraflores Palace. In China, authorities suspended consultations with the United States on arms control and non-proliferation. And in Kenya, at least 3 people were killed during a new wave of protests demanding the resignation of President William Ruto. Hello and welcome to From the South. I'm Alejandra Garcia from teleSUR Studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. The president of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro, held a meeting with leaders of the independent opposition seeking to ratify a consensual path for the preservation of peace in view of the upcoming presidential elections. During the reception at the Miraflores Palace, the head of state highlighted the approach with this opposition sector, which ratified its willingness to preserve peace, to work for the development of the country despite of its adverse stances. In the meeting, Nicolás Maduro highlighted his pronouncements in favor of peace, coexistence, and the search for consensual path. The President of Parliament, Jorge Rodriguez, also underlined the hope that this type of meetings will be repeated and send the message that beyond the differences, they can converge in common proposals for the defense of peace. The Vice President of PSUV, Diosdado Cabello, assured that the electoral victory will be achieved with work and mobilization. The statement was made by Cabello on Tuesday during a massive rally held in Lara State within the framework of the electoral campaign. There, the revolution's followers gathered in support of the president candidate of the Great Patriotic Poll, Nicolás Maduro. Likewise, leaders of different social movements joined the demonstrations and ratified their joint work towards achieving the electoral triumph on July 28th.
The whole international community puts the spotlight on our country. Brothers and sisters, let's prepare for victory. Let's defend our victory. Let's get ready to take care of our nation's peace. Let's not fall for their provocations. Let's not fall. Let's not give them any reasons, so when they make mistakes we will act. And we know how to act because we have learned. We cannot allow them. We cannot allow our children to be manipulated. We cannot allow them to generate violence at the expense of the people's blood, as the opposition doesn't deserve a single drop of blood of the people, not a single one anymore. July 28th, it's an appointment with history, an appointment that will mark the before and after of what is to come, because after July 28th I am sure that the irreversibility of the revolutionary people and this Chavista revolution begins.
Venezuelan presidential candidate José Brito highlighted the country's potential and called for a lasting change. The opposition candidate affirmed that if elected, he will advance in the construction of a positive change for the country. During the course of his electoral campaign, Brito has stressed his intention to give the country's depolarization an opportunity. Among his government proposals, he also highlighted the enactment of a law for universal non-contributory pensions. Presidential candidate for the Center Party, Enrique Marquez, stated to the National Electoral Council his support for the presence of at least 749 international observers that will accompany the electoral process, guaranteeing greater transparency and security. The candidate acknowledged the electoral schedule announced by the electoral authorities and expressed his support. On Tuesday, 261 Venezuelan citizens arrived from Mexico City to Venezuela as part of the Great Mission Return to Homeland. They were received by Foreign Minister Iván Gil at the airport. Our correspondent Juno Suner brings us more details.
The plane of Conviasa, Venezuela's flag carrier, landed at 10:30 a.m. at Simón Bolívar International Airport. Its passengers, 261 Venezuelan citizens. Michelle Martinez returned after 8 years abroad, where her son was born.
I made the decision to return to Venezuela mainly for personal reasons. I wanted to see my father. For 8 years, I haven't seen him, my grandmother, my family. I wanted them to meet my son, so I decided that there is nothing that money can buy as nice as family happiness.
So much excitement because I'm coming back after 6 years.
Many of them had left to find a better economic future. They faced a different reality.
I left because, really, not because of the bad situation, because I had a job here, I had a house. Not because I was starving, not because of anything, I can't lie. I went believing what other people said. When you arrive, you see that it is not like that, whatever they told you, you know. They are the same people who treat you badly, they even throw you out on the street.
The citizens were received at the airport by the Venezuelan Foreign Minister Ivan Gil, who gave a short speech of welcome.
Truly, this is a moment of deep joy. I repeat, I am sure there are many more compatriots outside that we are going to seek to bring back, that we are going to take care of them wherever they are.
The flight from Mexico was organized by the Bolivarian government within the Gran Misión Vuelta a la Patria. Gil declared that 500,000 citizens had returned since its beginning and added,
Venezuela abre nuevamente sus brazos a sus hijos, a sus hijas.
Venezuela opens again its arms to its sons and daughters. This is not only a matter of social attention, but we, Venezuela as a whole, we need each other, we all need each other. Here we need intellect, we need love, we are building a new country, after having suffered so much in these last years. We are building a new country, we are being reborn, we are recovering economically.
the Gran Misión not only means the transfer of citizens to Venezuela, but also their reintegration into the legal system, society and the economy. But first, the government offered them public transportation to reach their homes and see their families and loved ones. Yunus Soner, teleSUR, Caracas, Venezuela.
Let's take a short break, but remember you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you will find news in different formats, news updates and more. We'll be right back, stay with us. Welcome back. In Argentina, the government of President Javier Milei has officially created the May Council to implement the guidelines set out in the May Pact. The initiative is part of an agreement signed by 17 governors on July 9th during the Independence Day celebrations in the province of Tucumán. In this sense, presidential spokesman Manuel Adorni was in charge of confirming the formation of the Council within the next 30 days, detailing that the instance will be integrated by a president, a councillor, proposed by the executive, another proposed by the provinces, signatories of the pact, and the city of Buenos Aires, and another proposed by the chambers of parliament, the trade union organizations, and entrepreneurs. The May Council will be responsible for drafting laws to implement the proposals promised by Milei in the May Pact, which includes principles to seek a new economic order, such as the inviolability of private property, the reduction of public spending to around 25% of GDP, a modern labor reform that promotes formal work, the opening up to international trade so that Argentina can become a protagonist in the global market, and a useful and modern basic primary and secondary education with full literacy and no school dropouts. The International Monetary Fund forecasts for Argentina have worsened. It now expects economic activity to fall by 3.5% in 2024. The figure is much more pessimistic than the 2.8% drop initially forecast. Among the causes of this new debacle are the fall in consumption both by the state and by private consumers, and the decrease in the purchasing power of salaried workers. The lack of demand caused private investment to also suffer a sharp drop. Argentina is currently the only country that will have a fall in its activity in 2024, while countries such as Brazil and Mexico will increase between 2.1% and 2.2%. In El Salvador, a report presented by several local and international human rights organizations highlighted that the state of emergency declared by the President Nayib Bukele has seriously violated the human rights of children. In this sense, the report claims that 3,000 children and teenagers have been detained during the war against the gangs. In this way, it also emphasizes that minors have been doubly victimized on the one hand by the gangs who have abused them and on the other by the security forces who have mistreated them. In this regard, the report states that 1,000 children and teenagers have been sentenced to prison terms of between 2 and 12 years. It should be noted that in many cases the minors were forced to make false confessions. Also in El Salvador, on Tuesday evening, the President Nayib Bukele presented the National Economic Plan to be developed in 6 phases. On the opening of the Data Trust Technology Center located in the Ciudad Arce district in Libertad, the President informed that 2 phases of the plan are already underway. Bukele placed food in the first phase, while addressed technological development in the second one. The head of state said that in the food sustainability plan, tariffs have been abrogated on the basic food basket. It is expected that this decision will help to obtain better food at better prices. He further announced that many production and marketing chains will be privatized.
Nosotros vamos a hacer varias centrales de abastos.
We are going to build several wholesale markets that will be operated by private companies. So we are already finishing the first wholesale market, which is being built where the former Citrum's facilities used to be, and now this is one of the modules of many. This wholesale market is being built, and what we want to do is to build several wholesale markets across the country that will be privately managed, both the global administration and the internal traders of each of the wholesale markets, and once all these wholesale markets are built and open, the markets will be closed.
On Tuesday, another 200 Kenyan police officers arrived in Haiti under a United Nations-backed mission to try to stop the violence of criminal groups in the Caribbean country. In this way, they were received by Haitian and Kenyan senior police commanders, who also assured that with this new contingent, there are already 400 Kenyans in Port-au-Prince. It must be emphasized that the Kenyan contingent expects to accumulate around 1,000 police officers in Haiti. In this regard, local authorities reported that to date they have carried out strategic mapping of potential areas of cooperational interest and have conducted several joint patrols within Port-au-Prince.
We count on your support. The Haitian National Police are already working with the first Kenyan contingent, and we will continue to realize the fruit of our joint efforts that are geared towards enabling Haiti to regain its stability and become an economic powerhouse.
The Chinese government suspended consultations with the United States on arms control and non-proliferation. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Yan said the decision comes as Washington continues to supply arms to Taiwan, ignoring Beijing's firm objection to this. The official further accused the U.S. of taking a series of actions that seriously damage China's core interest and undermine the political trust between the two nations. China expressed its willingness to maintain communication with the United States on international arms control issues as long as it is based on mutual respect, peaceful coexistence, and mutually beneficial cooperation. Now we go to Beijing with CGTN reporter Wu Xiongyu, who will tell us about the third plenary session of the 20th Central Committee of the Communist Party of China, which opened in the country's capital on July 15th.
El 15 de julio se inauguró en Beijing la tercera sesión plenaria del 20º.
On July 15th, the third plenary session of the 20th Central Committee of the Communist Party of China opened in Beijing, calling for deepening reform and opening up and promoting Chinese-style modernization. China's gross domestic product in the first half of this year is estimated to have grown by 5% year-on-year at constant prices, with output showing sustained growth and demand continuing to recover. Overall, the Chinese economy remains on an upward trend. In this sense, official statistics on the Chinese economy present several opportunities for the world. First, China continues to develop new quality productive forces and drive new industrialization. The stability and continuity of government policies have opened up ample space for business development. Second, the high-quality development of China's economy also provides new opportunities for multinationals. During the first half of this year, exports of automobiles, integrated circuits, and other products have experienced considerable growth, optimizing the country's foreign trade structure. In short, China's high-quality economic development not only benefits it domestically, but also creates a favorable environment for global development, offering new opportunities for cooperation and growth.
We have a financial break coming up, but before we invite you to join our WhatsApp community for our English-speaking audience, you can scan the QR code on screen to join directly and share the link to reach more people. Constant news coverage of Latin America and the Caribbean, as well as the rest of the world. Financial break, don't go away. Welcome back to From the South. On Wednesday, at least 3 people were killed in Kenya following a new wave of protests demanding the resignation of President William Ruto. Local media reported that as part of the repression of the mobilizations against Ruto's economic reform, 1 man was killed in the city of Kitengela in the south of the country, while another lost his life in the business district of Nairobi, and the third was also killed in the center of the Kenyan capital. In the meantime, the National Human Rights Commission denounced the death of at least 53 people, in addition to 575 injured and more than 2,000 arrested since the beginning of the demonstrations.
People are in the street to exercise their right to demonstrate, but of course, as you've seen, our rogue police have used excessive force in dealing with the peaceful demonstrators. Now we have a lot of young people who are now nursing injuries at the makeshift hospital that we have here.
Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah warned Israel that the resistance will destroy all the occupation troops' tanks that try to enter Lebanon. The Secretary General of the Islamic Resistance Movement of Lebanon reiterated that Israel is committing war crimes against civilians in revenge for the victories that the Palestinian resistance has achieved. Nasrallah assured that the Israeli government is living its worst moment, with crises at all levels and a situation that is worsening with each passing day. The Hezbollah leader also promised that they will continue their support to Gaza and ratified that the United States supports war crimes. The Palestinian resistance movement Hamas said in a statement that it accepted China's invitation to meet with other Palestinian factions to discuss the post-war future of the Gaza Strip. A member of Hamas Political Bureau and head of the National Relations Office, Hussam Badran, stated in a press release to the Anadolu agency that Hamas and Palestinian factions have received a kind invitation from the People's Republic of China to hold an expanded meeting. On Tuesday, China's foreign ministry stressed its readiness to provide a platform and create opportunities for Palestinian factions to reconcile and dialogue but did not confirm the meeting. However, Hamas and the Fatah party already met in the Chinese capital last April. At least 10 Palestinian civilians were killed on Wednesday amid Israeli shelling and artillery attacks on several towns in the Gaza Strip. The attack occurred in the vicinity of the Sunna Mosque, south of the Nusayrat Palestinian refugee camp. At least 2 civilians were killed and others were injured in an Israeli airstrike on a residential building, which houses displaced persons in the Nusayrat area. In Gaza City, Israeli artillery targeted homes in the Tal al-Hawa neighborhood, southwest of the city, while warplanes targeted the Abu Iskandar area in the Sheikh Radwan neighborhood north of Gaza. In Denmark, a Norm company is the largest insect meal factory responsible for keeping millions of flies to produce larvae biomass to feed livestock. Its co-founder, Jane Lind Sam, shared more about the factory's work.
You can see all this yellow stuff, that's fly eggs. So each fly lay about 1,000 eggs, and 1 gram of eggs is like 40,000 larvae or tiny little eggs. So this is actually really many eggs. We have to harvest 25 kilo of eggs per day here. I think they are fascinating animals, and I think it's amazing that they can live on any organic matter. But it's really the potential of what they can contribute with to our society, to the feed and food value chain. Being able to feed on these very difficult substrates makes and recirculating nutrients from these back into our food value chain. That's the potential that I find very fascinating.
Who never ever fails to deliver.
In the United States, the Major League Baseball All-Star break activities came to an end on Tuesday with the usual matchup between the players most voted by fans.
Incredible. It's a spot right back to right.
Wednesday night saw the American League All-Star team beat the National League by a score of 5-3. The 2024 game is the 94th edition of the Midsummer Classic, which the American League now leads with 48 wins and 44 losses in the all-time series, including wins in 10 of the past 11 games.
In the regular season, and in his second at-bat in the All-Star game, he launches second baseman Luis Arraez.
The presence of Latin players at the 2024 All-Star game was notable, with a total of 23 players, including 11 players from the Dominican Republic, 6 players from Venezuela, Puerto Rico with 3 representatives, 2 Mexicans and 1 Cuban.
Here's a high fly ball off the bat of Jarren Duran.
In this sense, the Mexican player Jarren Duran, in his first All-Star game, was named the 2024 All-Star Game MVP after he hit a tie-breaking two-run homer to secure the win for the American League.
Continues here with a home run in the All-Star game. Teoscar Hernandez is in. Our Final Four is set. Teoscar Hernandez.
On Monday, another Latin player made history in the home run derby when Dominican player Teoscar Hernandez won the battle for the most home runs in a competition between the best sluggers in Major League Baseball.
We have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net and join us on social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram and TikTok. For TeleSUR English, I'm Alejandra Garcia. Thank you for watching.